Hey friends, it's Missy again. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm back with a new layout for the Hip Kit Club, and I'm using the 2019 January kits again. And my layout today is inspired by this month's mood board, and I right away noticed that there was some black and white elements on it, and that inspired me to pull out this paper from Dear Lizzy from the main kit and the paper kit. And I just kind of wanted to use a big chunk of it for my layout. And this layout is gonna kind of have a messy, grungy feel to it, I guess you could say. I wanted to tear some paper. I wanted it to be uneven and crooked and just kind of ruffled up along the edges. And I wanted this black and white striped paper to be sort of the main focal point, kind of coming down the middle there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this white cardstock as my background, but this striped paper is going to be pretty much the main chunk in the middle. So I wanted to pair that with that really pretty pink paper from Pink Fresh Studio, and my thought was I would just tear some of that off and kind of have it peeking out from both sides of the black and white. And this layout is completely 100% the opposite of the layout that I made last week. Last week I used the heart cut file for this month, and I used lots of flowers and some hand stitching, very feminine, girly, pretty, springtime-ish layout. I can even tell that these are the same kits, and that's what I love about the hip kits is you can get such different looks among your pages that you use with the kits. So yeah, you'll see what I'm talking about as I go here. And this is one of those layouts that I sort of just keep adding things to as I go, and I keep seeing things that I want to add more to the background or add another embellishment here or there, and it just keeps going and going. And I tried to trim this video without cutting out too much of the details, but it is a little bit longer than I normally do, so hopefully you'll stick around to watch all of it. Okay, so I've got the pattern paper that I'm going to use glued down, and now I'm coming over a lot of it with some white gesso. I just kind of want to fade out a little bit of the pattern there, and then I went into the color kit. And if you got the color kit this month, then you know that we got 3 really pretty colors of the Prima Bloom sprays. And at first I just want to go with pink and a little bit of yellow to kind of create some pinks and some oranges. And so all I'm doing is spraying it down, splattering it down, and then using my little spray bottle full of water to kind of dilute it a little bit. I'm going to dab some of it up. I'm going to pick up the paper and just kind of turn and twist it so the color can kind of run and blend together. And that's not the photo I'm going to use. I knew that I wanted to use black and white. I just hadn't printed out the photos that I am going to use yet. So I grabbed that one from my stash just to use as a filler photo. So you can see here now that this is dry, it lightened up quite a bit. I think when you add water like I did, it's definitely going to lighten it up versus when you just spray it straight on like that and let it dry, it's going to be more bold and darker. So you can get lots of different looks from using these Prima sprays. I like to have some lights and some darks, and so I like a little bit of all of it, and I'm not afraid to keep adding layers. You know me, I'm gonna keep spraying and adding and dabbing until it's until I get it like I like it. Because that pink, I think it's called Wild Raspberry, it's pretty dark, but you'll see when it dries it definitely lightens up a little bit. But like I said, I did add some water to it, but you'll see the splatters dry in a different color. So my advice is if you have not opened these yet, just kind of play with it and see what you can get with it. But I love how this looks. You can see that there's some shimmer to that color. Look how pretty. It's got a little bit of a pinkish goldish shine to it. So here are the pictures. These are some goofy pictures of my mom, my sister, and me. And we always have, when we get together to go out to dinner or go to a concert or whatever, we always have to take goofy pictures. And so these are some of those pictures. And I printed them on a 4x6 sheet. I made them kind of small, and so they look kind of like a photo strip. And this is where I decided to add in some blue. You know, I always wind up coming up to pinks, blues, and yellows, even though my original plan was just to go yellow and pink. Yep, that changed. You know, things change as you go, and that's just the way it is, and I'm cool with that. So I'm going to use a strip of that blue floral pink fresh studio paper, and then a Project Life card behind that. And then I decided, I kind of knew, here's what made me scrap these photos, is this little thicker foam sticker from Crate Paper that says party. Because when I saw these party themed stickers, I thought party animal. And then I thought of these silly, goofy photos of us at a concert. And I was like, that's going to be my title, Party Animals. And so I wanted to incorporate that party thicker. But I couldn't quite decide where I wanted it. And so that's why I cut the bottom photo off. And I'm going to put the word party in the middle of it. So I'm kind of, yeah, separating the pictures a little bit. But that's okay. I'm going to add a couple more layers, another Project Life card, and then I'm going to incorporate some of the frames from Pink Fresh Studio. I'm going to play around with those a little bit. I put them on, I take them off, but I'm not going to use them as an actual frame. I'm going to use them as a layer behind my photo strip here. So I wanted to do some more grungy-ish type stuff on the background, so I pulled out this Heidi Swapp stamp set that comes in the Project Life kit. And I'm just going to do some messy background stamping here. And yeah, I just wanted to go for it. So I'm using some black archival ink, and so it's not going to run or, you know, bleed if I add more water or liquid to the background. I just kind of went for it on this layout. I wanted a messy, grungy background, and that's what I got, I think. And this is just a circle stamp. It's meant to, I think it's meant for planners, and also on this stamp set there you can kind of see there are some curved pieces. Those are little phrases that you can stamp inside the circle, like in the top portion and the bottom portion, to create a little phrase circle. But I just used the circle as a design element. You know, I wasn't, if I put little tiny words in there, they're probably going to get covered up anyway because of the embellishments. So what am I doing now? I pulled out the Pink Fresh Studio Everyday Musings die cuts and went through those. I took a break. I came back. I did some black back and forth messy stitching along the background, just because I felt like whenever I create a grungy, messy background, it needs some messy stitching. So that's what I did there. I'm going to do some more stamping. This is that adorable camera from the Chamel stamps. I believe that's the head in the clouds. And I just stamped it on some packaging and then cut it out, and I'm going to use it as an embellishment. So I'm still trying to figure out the title, and now my issue now is that Project Life card with the space in between the photos is so white. I wanted some contrast between the party, because the background of the party sticker is white, and I needed some color to contrast to make it stand out a little bit more. So I just used some of the Prima Blooms in the pink and just kind of did a messy color on the background. And most of that's covered up anyway, but there you can see what I'm talking about. You'll be able to see the word party stand out a little bit more. There we go. Kind of like it, kind of like it. I'm gonna kind of stick it down, but not push on it too much, because I might move it. I'm not 100% sold on it. I do want to use that green Yay sticker, and here we have a new color being introduced. So this almost posed a problem. I thought, do I want to introduce green? I didn't even want to introduce blue, but I did. So here's what I do to introduce more green. There's a frame that is green, and so I'm going to use a green frame on the right, and that's instantly going to connect the green circle on the left side to the green frame on the right side. And then with the little Yay sticker, I'm going to make a cluster using some of the Pink Fresh Studio die cuts and stickers. And the little sticker that I stuck up there by Yay, it says something about celebration, celebrate life for what it is, or celebrate this moment. Here's where I decide to go full on more blue. Obviously, I thought my background was done, but you know me, I have to keep adding. So I'm going to use some of the Prima Bloom, and I also sprayed in a little bit of the Deep Blue Sea Shimmers to kind of darken it up. I'm just trying to match that blue color that's in that Pink Fresh Studio paper, and I'm just using my brush to add bits of that blue wherever I feel like I need it. Very small amounts, but just enough to where the blue is kind of connected all over the page. So when I make little clusters like that, I like to make sure that I am bringing all of the colors and elements from the main chunk of the layout into the cluster. So you're kind of getting echoes of everything kind of all around the page. So here I changed my mind. I'm going to use party somewhere else, and I decided to go with the big yay stickers in between the photos, which means I changed my mind on the pink background that I colored. I decided to go with a dark gray because it's really going to make the yay stand out since it's white. So I just tore a piece of that dark gray Project Life card and glued that down, and then I'm going to glue, or not glue, but stick down the big yay, because we were having a good time. We were at the Strawberry Festival, and that is something that comes every year to our area, and they have a big concert area, and they always have fun people come into concert. And so this particular year, this was last year, it was the 90s tour, and so we went to see Vanilla Ice, Salt and Peppa, and Tone Loc. And it was awesome. I mean, they're all older, but they sound so good, and it was hilarious and fun. And I mean, you would not believe the people that were there that were so happy to sing 90s music. It was awesome. And yeah, our mom went, and she had a great time. And we ate lots of chocolate-covered strawberries because they are, yeah, that's where you go to get strawberries, at the Strawberry Festival. Anyway, what am I doing? I added some foam behind the photos so they're raised up to match the height of those chipboard frames. And then I decided this little camera was just too white, too plain. So I'm going to use some black spray from my stash. That is a shimmer spray called Night Moves. It's just your basic black. And I kind of watered it down to create a little bit of shading on the camera. And so now you can kind of see I tucked it back in there. And now it just looks a little more dimensional and has a little more depth to it. Here comes my thread, you know, my beloved thread. I've got some green that I'm going to add to the left, some pink that I'm going to add to the right. And again, this is the perfect addition for a grungy, messy layout. I did add another frame. I'm fixing to glue it down right there from the Pink Fresh Studio Everyday Musings chipboard sticker sheet of all the frames. And then I'm going to glue the little cluster down. I am going to add a little piece of foam underneath the yay sticker because it's just kind of hanging in midair there. And I want to make sure it evens up with the height of that frame. So I'm going to glue that down. And I still haven't glued this down. I forgot that I had to remove the sticky backing from those frames, and I couldn't get my fingernail in there, but I'm still going to add some glue to it because of gesso. Things usually tend to not stick well on top of gesso. I'm not done stamping yet. There's some cute, fun sentiments on the Heidi Swap stamp set. This one just says "so fun," and I was like, yeah, we were having a blast, so we're going to have to use the "so fun." There's also one that says "killing it," and I thought I had to use that too. This one says "it's all good," I think. Yeah, "it's all good," in Heidi Swap's signature font, her handwriting. I love it. And then there's a star on the Chamel one, and I thought that's perfect because this is a fun, good time type of layout, and I just was feeling the stars. And also because on the crepe paper birthday party stickers, there are a bunch of silver glitter stars. And since I've already got some silver glitter going on the big yay, I thought, let's echo silver on this instead of gold. I know, I can't believe it. Sometimes you just got to go with silver. I was feeling it. So I just kind of took all the silver stars and scattered them around because, you know, I just felt like this was a celebration. We were having a good time. Stars kind of remind me of celebrations, and so thought they were perfect. And I decided to do my title over to the left right there. So I'm still going to use party, and then I'm going to use these small Pink Fresh Studio puffy alphas to create the word animals. But my issue now is if I use the dark gray ones, they're not going to stand out. And so I'm going to use one of these Pink Fresh Studio label stickers to kind of give me some white space. and then come in with animals, because none of the other colors really went with the color scheme. The green was too much green. The blue was a different blue. So I went with the dark gray. And did you know that you could dismantle these heart stickers? There's adhesive foam underneath the little sentiment piece that's on top of them. You can peel that off and just use the label or the little arrow or the whatever, that banner shape. So I did that and put that down at the bottom of the bottom photo. And then I used a little pinwheel chipboard piece to take up the space left over by the word animals. More blue thread up underneath the little yay sticker. I felt like I needed a pop of blue right there. And then I'm going to add a little bit of pink over underneath the P in party, because it's so white and just black and white right there. I needed a little pop of color. And thread is a great, easy, and cheap way to do that. So, not done with the background. I wanted to add in some more darker pink, and so I just kind of squirted some of the color bloom down and directly use my brush. I'm not going to water it down this time, and it does make a difference if you just use as is and you don't water it down. And again, I'm just using my brush. Everything's glued down at this point, so I'm just dabbing some on, smudging it with my finger to kind of blend it, and then adding some splatters. And this is definitely messy and grungy. I think if you held this layout up to my layout from last week, you would say, did the same person even make these? My brain works in mysterious ways. Oh, I'm still stamping. This is one of the emoji pieces. There's I think 5 or 6 little emoji faces on the Heidi Swap stamp set. I think that's the one that's laughing. And then here's the one that says killing it. I thought that was cute. So we're going to stick that down there at the bottom. And then, oh, I did add some black splatters. What am I doing now? I do add the date. Oh, this is the ratings, 5 stars. I'm going to color in all the stars. I did add my journaling off camera. I just wrote a little line down at the bottom, and then very tiny underneath the star on the right at the bottom, I added the date, because there are numbers on the Heidi Swap set. But anyway, there's the layout. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it's messy, and I know this video is long, but I just wanted to keep the whole process in so you could see how it comes together. But yeah, it was fun to make. I enjoyed reminiscing about what we were doing in the photos, and it was just fun to put this together because it feels like a party, you know, and we were having a party pretty much. So let me know what you think. Check out hipkitclub.net, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching.